Good morning, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you may be watching this damn video. I am trying to drive my ass back home. I done ran some errands this morning. I don't normally watch 90 Day Fiancé, but I heard it was on in Poppin' Kitty's family, so I decided to do this video and just talk about the last episode of 90 Day Fiancé. My name is the infamous Kiki. Welcome to my channel. In the spirit of Nigeria, I do have my African rap on today. In the spirit of my brothers and sisters that are being held down by the forces of evil, Usman and Michael, I'm down for you brothers. Okay, I'm not from Nigeria. I'm just plain old black African American sister. But anyway, I'm holding it down for my dad because my ancestry is Nigerian, so and other stuff. But I'm holding it down for y'all. But so, like I said, good morning, everybody. Good morning, morning. We're doing this live. I know most people are going to watch this during the replay. Okay. Welcome to my channel. Like, share, subscribe. If you'd like to support the channel, I do have 2 Etsy shops that I'm going to put links in the description where you get 20% off. I have a jewelry shop and I have a bath, beauty, and candles and beyond shop. 5-star shops. I've been in business for about 3 years now. I'm also an artist. I've been in Wall Street Journal, cover of magazines, because you probably wonder, who the hell am I, right? This video, let me do a disclaimer. There's no shade, no cap. I don't know these people personally, so if you are on one of these shows and you are watching one of my videos, baby, I can only go by what is on the show, and I know to edit people to be in a certain way, so I do understand that. So it's nothing personal if I drag you, but this is definitely a drag today. Believe me, it's a drag, honey. It's a drag. It's a drag with a lot of makeup on, some heels, and a man beard. It's a full drag, okay? So I'm not going to talk about the whole show because, frankly, the other couple, we're just going to talk about Angela and Michael, and we're also going to talk about Usman and Kimbali and Sheeta and Bilal. So we're just going to talk about those 3 couples. So if you have not watched the episode, watch the episode and come back. If you don't care to watch the episode, a lot of times I don't watch the episode, just watch the recap. Then you can stay here. So spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. So I watched this episode. Let me first talk about Angela and Michael. Okay, if you don't know, you don't watch this show or forgot that Angela and Michael met a couple of seasons ago. Angela is from the United States. She's from Georgia, I believe. She's a Caucasian lady, like in her 50s, I would say, late 50s. And Michael is probably in his early 30s. He's from Nigeria. So 90 Day Fiancé is a show where people are internationally dating, and then they're bringing them over here, marrying them, them going over there. So just about having an international relationship. A lot of these people met online. Angela and Michael, I believe, met online through Facebook, a dating app. I don't know, whichever one. So their relationship has gotten a lot of publicity. You can look up videos on YouTube, a lot of notoriety, because their relationship is tumultuous. Their relationship has been a hot ass mess. In other words, as we say in the hood, hot mess. So at one time I thought they had got a divorce, but there's been some evidence that Angela was kind of flirting with other men, talking to other men. Michael was flirting and talking to other women online, a woman or women, I don't know. But apparently they patched up the differences, got back together, but they haven't seen each other in over a year, okay? Because she's been back in the States, he's been back in Nigeria. He's supposed to come and get his K1 visa so he can come stay in the United States with her, I believe. So she felt like Michael was using her, of course, for the visa and for money. She made Michael stop working, so she could support him, because apparently working in Nigeria, she doesn't trust it. It's dangerous. I've never heard this. I don't know what kind of work Michael does, but I'm just like, okay, what? Like, you can't work in your own, I mean, he's born and raised and lived there. He can't find legitimate work in Nigeria. I don't know. Maybe that's some truth to it. I don't know. I'm not Nigerian. I don't know anybody in Nigeria. I don't know. So there might be some truth to that. But so she's been supporting him and sending him money every month. As to what Angela does for work, I'm not quite sure either. How in the hell Angela can support Michael? Don't fucking know. But Not sure. I don't know what she do. But Angela is this rude, loudmouth, abrasive woman that I wouldn't even look. If I was her daughter, I wouldn't claim Angela for shit. I wouldn't claim Angela on a tax form. Do you hear me? I wouldn't claim Angela for nothing. I wouldn't even say Angela was even my friend. I wouldn't even say Angela was babysitting my fish. I wouldn't claim Angela for nothing. Angela wouldn't be allowed in my damn house. Do you hear me, y'all? This person is toxic, abusive, and on the cool, low-key racist, I think. I said what I said. I don't care how many black dudes she date or how many black eggplant she get. The things that she have said on the show and the way that she is acted is not a person she may like black men. She may date black men. But is she down for the brown? Like we say, down for the brown? Look, y'all, look at me. No, because there are people out there. Let me tell you something. For somebody who's interracially dated, let me just get a sidebar for a second, because this is my damn channel. For someone who's dated interracially, for someone who's dated interracially extensively and has biracial children, who's married interracially, there are dudes, there are men, there are women, there are ladies who will date Asians, blacks, whatever, because it's maybe a sexual attraction, it may be some kind of fetish, it may be some forbidden fruit. To them, they may even marry you. But when it comes to get down, you know what I'm saying? When I say get down, I'm talking about family members coming for you. People saying things about you. People throwing black people under the bus. Some of these people would just sit there in silence, knowing that they have a black spouse or a black boyfriend or girlfriend, and they don't say shit to their family. They don't defend black people. They don't even really like other black people. I've heard people in relationships never miss Kiki because I'm all the way black, y'all. I'm black. To date me is dating a black woman. No mistake, okay? I'm too politically charged to not to be mistaken for anything other than a black woman, okay? Let's put it that way. But I know people who've dated who've married black people, dated black people, and didn't even like black people. Can we say it again for the people in the back? Y'all hear me back there? No? Okay. There are people who date black people, Asians, Indians, all kinds of people. Even white folks that don't like white people or don't like black. They like the person that they with, but they don't. But other people of the same race or they love one, they don't like them people. They talk shit about black people. I've known people like this. I know people who dated people and known this. Couldn't be Miss Kiki, but hey, to each its own. So, as to why Michael want to date this loudmouth, him being a Nigerian man, I don't want to hear anybody say shit about African men. Oh, African men, they like their women submissive. Shut the hell. Please don't tell me. Please don't go. Please. Shut up. I don't want to hear anything about what African men or African American men date. I've seen African men date loudmouth African women. I've seen African American men date loudmouth Asian women, loudmouth white women, loudmouth black women. I don't want to hear this shit about women in other countries, because men in other countries date American women, and men in other countries date women all over the place. So I don't want to hear anything about black women or white women or women in America or the UK being undateable or not submissive, because you trifling ass motherfuckers of all races will date whoever. Yeah, that sounds good on the internet. It sounds good on social media. It sounds good on the video. But when the rubber hits the road and truth come to truth, let me tell you, people are out dating all kinds of fucking people. Right now, somebody's dating some bitches that's keying up their car like Angela did. Right now, right as we speak, somebody's bashing somebody's window in, and guess what? They gonna forgive that bitch and go to bed with them tonight. Do you feel me? So I don't want to hear that men want this and men like this. Okay, in an ideal world, yes. Same thing about women. I don't want to hear women, oh, we don't like besties. Oh, they like this. You turn around and date them thug ass men who ain't shit dudes, and I've done it too. So you just have to get sick of the bullshit and then move on with your life. So Angela goes to see Michael with her friend that she met at the airport, her fake black friend. I'm gonna say it again for the people in the back. Y'all back there? Her fake black friend. Discovery Channel. What do you TLC, whatever channel this on? What are y'all doing? Do y'all really think Angela is friends with this woman that she met at the airport because they was taking a smoke break in the bathroom? What in the hell? What are we talking about? I'm like, really? They really friends? So she takes her little fake friend with her to Nigeria to go see Michael, right? Apparently they show up and he's in a room or a hotel room, his house. It was really dark. They beating on the door. Okay, Michael not answering the door. So these dumb broads. And like I said, I'm all for, like, not objectifying and disrespecting women. But these women give American women a bad name. Not all American women act like this. I'm not finna key up nobody's fucking car like I'm 15, 16 years old, like I did when I was in my 20s. I even do that shit in my 20s. They go over to another country, and these dumb bitches decide to key up, that vandalize this man's car in Nigeria. The whole episode they talking about we gonna go to Nigerian jail. Out the caucasity of these ninjas, like the caucasity of this situation. There's never in a right mind I would go to any country and vandalize anybody's shit, much less in this country, but in another country. What? Like, I'm watching this episode, my jaw dropped. I'm like, I cannot believe they put this shit on TV. Like, if Angela was a man, okay, I'm finna real talk, y'all. If Angela was a man who talked to a woman the way she talked to Michael, hello, Kendallin, what's up? If Angela, her big cheddar teeth looking ass was a man, and a man talked to a woman the way she talked to Michael, like he's a damn dog. If a man keyed up a chick's car, or his wife's car, on national TV, there would be an outrage. And for God's sakes, let me say it right now. If this is a black man and this is a white woman, they would have burned down Discovery Channel. You hear me? You feel me? Angela is exhausting and irritating to watch. And the fact that they let this go, and the fact that anybody, they were talking about, well, Angela has fans. Fans of what? Fans of insanity? If this is how, if you are fans of that insanity, you need to go see a therapist. You need to have your brain checked. Angela is a manipulative, abusive. She's unhinged. She's mean. I don't understand why Michael would even want to get with somebody like that. Like I said, there may be another side to Angela, in all fairness, that we may not see, that the cameras don't show. Oh, I hate all the couples. I just all the couples. But the Angela thing, I'm like, how is she getting away with this? If this was a man, nobody would sit there and Vanderby. I wish them chicks would have went to jail. Angela and her little friend. Both of y'all bitches need to go to jail. Yes, it makes for good TV. Yes, people watch, but I mean, I'm not. Look, I'm ready to put Angela up there with them other couples. Just stop watching, because I can't support this. Somebody who is this abusive, it is very triggering for me. I've dated a man that was like Angela, so that's not cool for me. Like, yeah, lock them up. They trying to lock everybody else. That's just not cool for me. Like I said, in the caucasity, I was like, what in the name of George W. Bush is happening here? What in the name of Barack Obama is happening here? I was like, I know she not finna go vandalize this man's car. I was like, what in the name of caucasity? What in the hell is happening here? That you would think in your right mind that it is okay to go to a foreign country and vandalize your husband's car. It takes a lot of, you gotta have balls of steel. Balls of steel, do y'all hear me? Balls of steel to feel like in your mind that he doesn't answer the door, so let me just go ahead and vandalize this person's car. Like, I don't know who Angela's ex-husbands are, or I know she's been married before she got children, but I'm gonna pray for them ex. Like, I don't even pray. I don't even believe in God. But look, you need the power, the strength of something divine to deal with Miss Angela. And she's been on reality shows before, so some of this I think is just acting for the camera, but some of this is her real personality. Okay, if you guys have not watched Psychology in Seattle, look, it is the most fascinating channel. I learned so much, but he does all these couples on these reality shows, and he's a psychiatrist. He's like a real good psychiatrist. So if you have not watched Psychology in Seattle, please watch Dr. Honda's channel. It's very interesting because he psychoanalyzes Angela and this whole situation, and Kimberly and Usman. Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm with you, girl. I'm surprised. I'm reading the chat. I am surprised that Michael didn't come out there and shoot him. Like I said, I don't want to hear shit about, I don't want to hear no Nigerian man telling me about no Nigerian man, blah, 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 because these Nigerian men on this show have been a runover for these white women. I don't mean to be, I'm not trying to be racist at all, but let's just call it like it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, Michael, honey, are you that desperate for a green card? Are you that desperate? Is things that bad where you're at that you gotta submit yourself to abuse, like this kind of abuse? I don't understand it. Like, what? I don't get it. But we'll see next episode. But I just can't believe that any person, man, woman, Nigerian, not Nigerian, would ever put up with this kind of insanity from a partner. Like, I don't care what country it is. There's no way in hell living here I would deal with a man blowing up my phone, vandalizing my car. Child, please, I'm in Texas. He would have got dealt with. I would have came out there like, what you doing? Child, I would have had to get the burner on his ass. Like, I would have like, what? What you doing? Oh, you're not doing this to my car. Like, I mean, and then like they in a foreign country. Like, Michael had every right to call the police. He had every right to be like, look, we're gonna stop filming. This shit just took a turn. It just got real. You know, like, it was all funny and kiki and like, oh, you know, he can hang up on her when he was talking to her. But it's like, you over here now and then you vandalizing my car and you don't even know if I'm really I don't know if Michael was even there or not. So she gonna look real dumb, but Michael wasn't even there. So I don't know. But anyway, let's move on from there. Angela is so exhausting and infuriating that it makes me sick. It's just infuriating that makes me sick. Let's talk about Kimberly and Usman. Okay, so Kimberly is mad at Usman because, first of all, she mad because he didn't tell her about, she's like, well, you told me that the second wife ain't gonna do all this and do all that and do all this. Well, that's what you told me. Kimberly, honey, you can Google. I don't want to hear anything about she didn't know or she didn't realize. Girl, Google. So she couldn't Google a second wife because he's telling you. And yeah, I believe Kimberly. I believe Usman did try to, like I said in my last video. If you're not watching my last video, please go watch my last video. I believe that Usman softballed Kimberly and kind of told her what she wanted to hear, just so they could go along and get along and not argue about it. And then once she started, you know, things started to get serious and get real, and then she came over there. Then she found out, oops, that's not how things go at all. The second wife is not a baby maker. The fact that any woman in their right mind, let me say it again, any woman in their right mind to think that any man is going to get a second wife, and the second wife is just going to be a baby maker. Yeah, I know Usman told you that, but Kimberly, honey, Google it. She could have Googled that shit. She could have Googled it just like anybody else. Even I know that. I'm not Nigerian. I'm not into polygamy. But I know damn well that a second wife is not a baby factory. Really, Kimberly? That's your excuse for getting mad? Oh, well, you told me. Why would you just take this man's word for it? Why didn't you look it up yourself? Why didn't you join a Facebook group, a WhatsApp group? There are groups of women who are in multiple marriages in different cultures that she could have asked them ask those women, not your stupid man. You gonna just blindly believe this dude after he done lied to you about Zara, lied to you about talking to other women, didn't want to kiss you, didn't want to give you the yammy. Okay, he didn't want to give her the yammy. Didn't want to give you the yammy, really. And you just gonna believe him, Usman? He don't want these white women. He wants him a young Nigerian woman. He just wants to use the woman to get a visa and get over to this country and boost his singing career, his so-called rapping, singing, whatever. But the idea that Kimberly is so gullible that she like, well, I believed you. What? Why? What? Why? What? Look. Let me tell you something now, women. Okay. Just, look, ladies. Okay, in all seriousness, ladies. If my man tell me the sky is fucking blue, I'ma look up twice. Okay. Jesus Christ, ladies. Don't be this stupid. My man's like, oh, the sky's blue. I'm like, honey, yeah. What? I am gonna look because people will lie. Not just men, but people will lie and tell you anything, especially if you're in a relationship with them, to try to get over. The fact that she didn't look this up, she didn't search in her own knowledge, she didn't ask other Nigerian women, the fact that she did none of this, just like had me looking at the screen going, really? Kimberly? And like I said in my other video where I did a video by Kimberly Usman, check that. It's incredulous to me that even after the fight, after throwing some milk on there, Kimberly's still over there. What's the one thing Kimberly talking about? The damn yammy. At this time, I don't want no yams. I don't want no sweet potatoes. I don't want no damn yams. I don't want a gherkin. I don't want a white potato. I don't want any starches. Because if I gotta hear the word yammy again, I'm gonna hang myself. Okay? Jesus Christ. I'm like, the word yammy just took me all the way out the yam experience. I don't want no Patty LaBelle sweet potato pie. I don't want anything with a damn yam. Okay, you hear me? After hearing about, you didn't give me the yammy last night. Where the yammy at? Hey, give me the yammy. I'm like, girl, if you don't get you a mechanical yammy, I will send one to you, girl. I will go online. I will go on Adam and Eve. I will spend $65 and I will send Miss Kimberly. I will send her a mechanical, whether she want a battery operated or she want the one that you plug in through the charger, whatever, girl. You want a black one, girl? I will give you a black. You will get a black mechanical yammy. Kim, I will help. Girl, let me help you, okay? So you can have that yammy anytime, okay? Anytime. You just go in your drawer, underneath your bed or your pillow, plug that some bitch up, or pop some AAAs in that bitch, and get your own yammy, okay? Girl, get your yammy, okay? You know, I mean, I know I'm not knocking the hustle of any of these people. If Michael want to get abused by wrinkled up Sharpay puppy looking ass Angela, let him go ahead and get abused. If Usman talking about, well, I sacrificed too, I gave you the yammy, even though I'm Muslim, shut the hell up, Usman. Oh, now you Muslim? Okay, all right, now you Muslim. Oh, okay. I kissed you and held hands with you in the airport and everything. Oh, that's real sacrifice. After all the gifts Kimberly then broke off to this dude, he talking about he sacrificed by I guess introducing her to his family, giving her the yammy, and giving her some tired ass stuffed animals. Boy, bye. Okay, yes, Usman, you've sacrificed so much. You've done so much for Kim. You gave her the yammy. I mean, come on now. Like, oh my God. So yes, Kimberly Usman, she mad at him because she feel like he deceived her. And in all honesty, he did. Usman did deceive her. So I'm just, I'm not taking nobody's side in this situation because Usman, it is what it is. He know what he's here for. And with Kimberly, she can't be that dumb. But she kind of know. I think Kimberly is just desperate to have a piece of Usman, half of Usman, whatever. Usman is going to find him a pretty young, beautiful wife, whether she be from Nigeria or Ghana or America or whatever. I promise she probably going to be black. and he's gonna have him some wonderful chocolate little babies, and the family is gonna ignore Kimberly as the first wife, and they just be like, oh yeah, the white woman American you married. That's probably what they're gonna call her, and then the second wife is going to be over there in Nigeria, and Kim's still going to be in America, and Usman may travel back and forth, but the idea that a man is going to have another wife and he's not going to care for her, he's not going to love her, and then on top of that, still Kimberly, what about the children? You were like, well, no, you can't bring your children over here again. That was a messed up thing for her to say. I don't care what anybody says. That shit was just messed up. Like that was foul. That was foul for her to sit there and say that. Like, well, you can't bring the children over here. What man's gonna want to be like, oh, well, I can't fuck with my children? What man will do that and think that that is okay? It's not. I mean, so again, so if he had a baby mama and he want to bring his children, he can't bring his children in that situation? That's a question I would love to ask him. So if Usman had a baby mama or our ex-wife, if Usman had an ex-wife or a baby mama, and he wanted to bring his kid with Kimberly, so according to Kimberly, he can't bring no kids around, or is it because it's the second wife's child? I didn't understand that. It made no sense to me. So it's like, you don't want this man to bring his kids to visit you ever? Like, I don't want anything to do with the kids. That's what hit me, is like, okay, that's pretty terrible thing to say. I understand you don't want to be friends with the second wife. I understand you don't want to be around her. You don't want to live in the same house with her. I get all that. But the idea that he is having a kid with another woman and you don't want anything to do with that child, that was my issue. That was my only issue. Because to me, that's a crazy thing to say. And if you love somebody, why wouldn't you want to be around their child? Why wouldn't you want to be good to their kid? Like, that's a crazy, and like I said before, my Kimberly Usman video, how would any of you people feel dating somebody and you have children, whether they be young children, grown children, whatever, and you're dating a man and the man's like, well, I love you, but don't bring them kids around. I don't know any woman in the world who's like, oh, okay, or a man, oh, baby, I love you. Ooh, you so handsome. But you can't bring your kids. I don't want to see your kids. I don't want to meet those kids. Don't bring them nappy-headed kids over here. I don't want nothing to do. Like, who would be with somebody that don't want anything to do with their children? Like, but did she want her son, Jamal, sexy ass Jamal, to have a relationship with Usman in some sort of way, whether it be friendship, whether it be just mutual respect? It doesn't have to be a father-son kind of thing. But of course she would want to bring her son around Usman. But Usman can't bring his kids around Kimberly. Like, that's what, you're affecting an innocent child. You're affecting a child that's not going to be asked to be brought into this world. And so, and the idea that he has to live and go to America, go back and forth to America and leave his children behind. And the way Kimberly spits such vitriol, it's like she didn't want to see pictures of the kids. She probably don't want to know the kids' name. She don't want to know what the kids are doing. And as a father, he's going to want to share. Oh, my kid, this is their first day at school. Oh, my kid, he or she took their first steps. Oh, my kid did good in school. So he can't share any of that with Kimberly. Do y'all understand how psychopathic that sounds? So I'm going to have kids and I can't mention my children. I can't share anything about my children with you. I can't have pictures of my children on my social media. He can't be proud of his kids. Is she going to get jealous because there's a picture of the second and third and fourth and fifth and sixth wife, whatever, how many wives he wanted with the 100 kids? What if he posted on his Facebook? What if he posted on social media? What if he mentions his kids in his album, or he goes on tour and he brings one of the kids with him or one of the wives with him? There's a lot of shit going on when you're married to somebody you had children. So is Kimberly going to get mad about that? Or she just like, out of sight, out of mind. I don't want you to post nothing about the second wife, the kid. Come on, that's not even realistic. That's not even realistic. Him and his second wife, they're going to have a wedding. So he can't say anything about the wedding. He can't post the wedding. Kimberly she's just not going to look at his Instagram. I don't see it. I don't know. Like, come on now. When you're married to somebody else, you're sharing a life with them and you're having children. So I don't know what, whether she's Kimberly still going to go along with this. She probably will, because she really won't this man. But as to whether she's going to be happy about it and whether it's going to cause problems, if I was Usman, I'd go find me another old white lady who would go along, who's better equipped to mentally to handle this, who would go along with this. There are women who would go along with this. To be honest with you, I mean, I know not a lot, but I'm sure there's some women out there that'd be like, sure, Usman, go have another wife. I don't care. Bring her over. Come on. Look, me personally, if I was with somebody and I knew they were another culture and they did, I'm not planning to have any more children. And if I really loved that person and they wanted to have another wife, I wouldn't want to live in the same household because I have my own children. But I mean, okay. Like if I would treat her with respect. I would love her and treat her with respect. I would love those kids and treat those kids with respect. So if somebody has a culture where they got to have another wife in another country, as long as I'm being financially supported by my husband, child. Like, baby, what? Oh, you got a nice job? Oh, you're sending me money? Oh, baby, come get your K1 visa. You can come over here whenever you want to. We legally married. That's cool. You can have a wife over there in whatever country. Nigeria, Tanzania, Ghana, Africa, Arabia, Muslim. Look, I'm willing to convert. You know what I'm saying? If I love somebody enough, then I do what I had to do. I know I'm not having any more children. So if he is willing to be with me knowing that I am not going to have another child, that's another thing. Usman, it's a reverse situation. Usman's willing to be with Kimberly knowing that she doesn't want to have any more children. Now, I'm not saying the grift is not on now, y'all. Now, look, I'm not dumb. I know the grift is on. But I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, if the grift wasn't on, he really did care about Kimberly, I'd be honored if somebody wanted to marry me knowing I don't want to have any more children. Me personally, I can have children. I don't know if Kimberly can have children. She may have, you know, menopause didn't set in. I don't know. She in her 50s, so probably, yeah. But I'm not having any more children. So, you know, I wouldn't be adverse to marrying somebody who's like, look, I want to have more kids and I got to have a second wife. I would just roll with it and be okay with it. It wouldn't bother me. I'd be like, okay, do you? Do I get financially supported? That would be my thing. You know, but again, at this stage that's me in my life, my stage in my happiness in my life. But the Kimberly and Usman thing, I don't know. I think they're mutually in it for other reasons. Like I said, but except for Kimberly, I think she really does love Soldier Boy. But the whole fight that they have and the way she disrespected him, and second time she didn't threw some water or some juice or something on him, that was not cool. You know, and he was telling her, you know, you have an anger issue. You know, and she's like, oh, I don't have a temper as an anger issue. Yeah, Kim, what? Girl, you do. She just fly off the handle because of just whenever it comes to something that she don't want to face or don't want to hear, Kimberly just shuts down and gets mad. And I understand that Kim has been hurt. And I've said this before, that Kimberly needs to go to therapy. Like, she has been hurt before deeply. She been married to Jamal's father, and he treated her bad and cheated on her and dogged her out. Then apparently she came out. She was married to some 18-year-old who was in prison for murdering a state trooper. Like, and then she eventually got the marriage annulled. But he was like 18 years old and she was like 27, 28 years old, and she married some dude in prison, and they weren't married for very long. But yeah, that came out, and she's never said anything about that. But I guess she probably want to forget it, and it didn't last very long. But Kimberly needs to, you know, do some soul searching. We all do. I would say anybody that's been through a lot of heartbreak, or heartache, or not even a lot, just one or two. Um, I suggest you seek out therapy. Like, I suggest that everybody see, if you have the money and the means, and it's, you know, insurance will cover it. I would suggest everybody seek out some sort of therapy. Now you can do it online with BetterHelp and different websites, and make sure you find a good one and shop around till you find a good one. But being a whole and healthy person is important. And like I said, it's a hard lesson in life that I had to go through. I mean, I've been fortunate because I had a really great late husband. But I went through a hell in relationships. I could tell y'all stories, child. I've had stalkers. I haven't had anyone physically abuse me or anything like that, but I have had stalkers. I've had dudes follow me around, dudes obsessed with me. I've had emotionally abusive relationships. I've had mentally abusive relationships. I've dated narcissists. I probably dated out straight up sociopaths. Like, I'm surprised some of my exes aren't fucking serial killers. Like, I'm just gonna keep it real. I've dated a lot. I always try to give some sort of, dating advice to people because I've been through it. I've really been through it. And so I just hate to see other women, especially women when you get of a certain age, keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again that they did in their 20s. I'm trying hard, y'all, not to repeat the same mistakes I did in my 20s and everything. And it's hard out here. Like I said before in my other video, for Angela and Kimberly and anybody else who are watching this video or anybody else on the show, if anybody tries to lessen or tell you it's not hard to find somebody out here, they're lying to you. It is hard, whether you're male or female, black, white, old, young, or whatever, to find somebody. Dating, yes, right, Kindling. Girl, dating is so hard right now. It's so hard. I spent years on dating apps. Years. And when I say years, I mean Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, POF, Adult Friend Finder. I mean, you name eHarmony, Match. I at one time I had like 5 different dating apps all at the same time. And I have friends right now who are single, who are on dating apps. I hear all kinds of stories, all kinds of things. Like, they tell me, I just be cracking up because of the things they go through. And the fact that anybody tries to lessen that is foolish, because you get online and there's people who barely know how to. I can't speak for the women, but I do have some male friends who are on dating apps, and they've gone through crazy. Women lying to them about what they look like. One of my male friends, he went on a date with a chick and she showed up and she was pregnant. He been talking to this chick for 7 months and she been living with a whole dude, and she had the nerve to show up. He talked to her for 7 months. She had the nerve to show up and she was pregnant. She was pregnant. I mean, like 6, 7 months pregnant. And lied to him the whole entire time. Lied to him. So yeah, she was pregnant. She was living with a dude. She was off and on with a dude. The whole entire time he was talking to her, he had not met her once. They had been talking for 6 months, and the chick showed up like 4 or 5 months pregnant. And she was like, "Oh, I'm pregnant." I said, I would have stood up and walked the hell out that restaurant. Girl, I ain't got nothing more to say to you. You better go back to your baby daddy or whoever impregnated you. Yes, I had a guy that was talking to a girl for 4 months that totally. I had to research online because he felt like the pictures were fake. The pictures were fake. It was pictures that she got off a line on somebody else's site. And she didn't even look like that. He met her. She was 300 pounds with short hair and nose piercing and tattoos all down her neck. And she was about 5'2", looking like an Oompa Loompa. Okay, I'm just going to keep it real. Like, this chick looked nothing. She used fake pictures, and I found the pictures, and I'm like, this is somebody else on another website. It wasn't even the same race. She said she was biracial. He met her. She was a 5'2" white girl who weighed about 300 pounds with short cut purple hair, tattoos, nose piercings, and she looked busted and disgusted. Let me tell you. So I've had male friends go through it as well. But you have to be smart, though. You can't be talking to people months and months and months and don't video chat. I'm telling people, there are scammers online. Scammers. There's ways to detect them. I've found ways of finding them out. I have scammer alert. My friends send me profiles all the time. Does this look fake? Does this look fake? I'm like, yeah, that's fake. Yeah, that's fake. I've learned at a peep game how to tell somebody. And if somebody doesn't want to video chat with you, if somebody doesn't want to talk to you over the telephone within the first day or two, stop messing with them. They're not serious. Yeah, people start investigating. Honey, I'm an OG. I met my husband back in 2003, 4 on a online. I met my late husband online. So I'll tell you how long I've been doing. Before I met my late husband, we used to call something called chat lines. Before with the internet, there was chat lines. People would call up a chat line and talk to people, and that was really dangerous. But I met several of my exes on chat lines because I never can meet anybody in person. Like, nobody ever comes up to your girl. Nobody ever talks to me at all. It doesn't matter if I'm looking glamorous. It doesn't matter whether I'm looking like this. Nobody ever talks to me. Some people said I have resting bitch face, but yeah, I do have a demeanor. What chat lines? Chat lines is when there was an 800 number that you would call, and it would do it locally, and it would be like, for women press 1, for men press 2. Look, I'm old. Okay, let me tell you, I'm almost 50, so I'm old. But if anybody remember old school out there, there was chat lines. They're still around. Lava Life is the biggest one that I know that's still around. If you look up Lava Life online, they're still there. So you would call this chat line and would route it to just local people. Press 1 for men, press 2 for women, or whatever it is. And and then you would go in there and you would listen and you would hear people's, like, you would make an introductory message like, hey, I would be like, hey, this your girl Kiki, blah blah blah. I was great 50, thank you. I was like, this your girl Kiki, whatever, whatever, whatever. Yeah, lava lines, yes. And so you would leave a little introductory message, and so you would listen to the male's introductory messages, and they'd be like, press 1 if you want to send this person a message, press 2 if you want to talk live. So yes, it was fun, but it was dangerous as hell. Like, we didn't realize in our 20s how dangerous it was. Like, me and my homegirls were used to spend our Saturday nights were going to meet up with dudes on these chat lines. Like, this is what our Saturday nights used to be. Sight unseen. Like I said, there was no pictures. You didn't know if this dude was a serial killer. I've had some interesting stories, but I did meet my late husband that way. My late husband was 9 years younger than me. He lied to me about how old he was, y'all. Like, it's a whole story. But he lied to me about how old he was. My late husband was really like 18 years old when I met him. And here I was like 27. And he told me he was 21. He lied. Yeah, why? He lied. Wait a minute. My late husband lied so bad. We moved in together, and I didn't know how old he was. Let me tell you, I know that's going to blow y'all mind. May he rest in peace, and God knows I love him. I love him to death. But I didn't find out how old he was until we were living together for 8 months. By that time, he was like 19, but he had just graduated high school. So the grift and the hustle was real for my late husband. God, and I literally didn't talk to him and contemplated throwing him out for 2 weeks. And I called his sister and I was like, why didn't you tell me that your brother is like 19 years old? And she like, girl, I thought you knew. I was like, he lied to me and everything, straight lied to me. Here I was thinking he was like 22. He was really like 18, 19 years old. So here I'm going like, no wonder you didn't want to go out and drink, because I'm not a drinker. So it's not like we went to bars and then when I go to the liquor store, I would always be the one that go. So here I was living with somebody for 6 months thinking that they were 22, 23 years old, and they really was 19. And we had started dating when he was barely 18. He had just turned 18. And he was still in high school. He had graduated high school that year. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, but I stuck with him. I was like, okay, because he had been a good boy and we were living together for like 7 months before I found out the truth. And I didn't talk to him for 2 weeks, and he's like, are you going to talk to me? And I was like, nope. But I knew he had no place. He didn't want to go back home. And then we worked together. Like, we both worked at a call center, and we worked together. We lived together. Why would he lie? He told me that he lied because he felt like if he had told me he was 18, I would have never start talking to him. And which is the truth. Oh, my phone's ringing. Let me decline. Which is the truth. If he would have told me that he was 18 and still in high school, I would have ended the conversation right there. I was 27 years old, like y'all. So I had my own apartment. I had a job. I was in college. So he just thought, why in the hell would she talk to an 18-year-old that's still senior in high school, working? He was working. He had a job, and I would go up to his job and everything. I never put 2 and 2 together. Like I said, in the beginning, I didn't take our relationship serious. We were just friends. We had a lot of stuff in common. And then so we started dating and going out to movies and stuff, and he would always pay. And then my husband was much more mature, than he seemed. He was mature. So, but anyway, that's another story. That's a whole nother story. But we were together for 8 years. 8 years and 1 child later. But I loved him dearly. He was a great husband. And I really thought it wasn't going to work out. I was like, you're too young. You're too immature. But it worked out. But yes, has anybody tell you that it's easy to meet somebody? And why can't Kimberly just meet somebody here? It's hard. It's hard meeting somebody here. Yes, my husband was very mature for his age. He was very mature. He had some kiddish ways about him, I admit it. But my husband was never one to go out and party, he never drank really, never did drugs. My husband, I sat him down and I was like, how am I going to know? I told him, I said, how am I know, John, that this is going to work? You're going to get tired of me probably in about 10 years, and you're going to want to go out and have fun. You're going to be in your 20s. Because, I was in my 20s and I was wild in my 20s. And he was like, well, I'm not like you. I'm not out here partying, whatever. And I was like, how do I know you're not just going to get tired of me in 10 years? Like, how do I know that? And then my husband sat down and told me straight up, and this is before we were married, when we were dating, we were living together. He was like, I promise you. And he promised me. He's like, Keisha, I promise you, I will give you a good life. He said, I promise you, I will support you. I will love you. I'm not that kind of person. You are the person that I want to be with. So, that then he promised me. And it chokes me up to this day because, we had a good life. And I'm sorry. But he promised me, and he didn't. My husband didn't go out and party, didn't go out and drink, he didn't cheat on me. He was happy being with me. When we got married, he was happy to be a husband, and he was happy to be a father. Now, we had our issues and we had our problems, but I was fortunate enough in life, which a lot of people aren't, of uh somebody having a good partner. There are a lot of women out there who've never had anyone treat them good, who've never had support. When I was in my 20s, I was in these streets protesting. I was out in these streets like stop the war, stop. This is during the George Bush years, and I was a protester, and I was heavy in the movement in the streets. My husband never been like protesting, but my husband backed me up 110%. There is nothing I couldn't tell my husband. And I tell people I'm an all black woman. Like, being with me, it was a black woman, honey. It ain't no mistaking that I've been down for the cause all of my life. That we would sit together and talk about politics and talk about religion, which we didn't agree on because he was religious and I'm an atheist. That's the only thing we really didn't agree on. But when it came to fighting against racism and homophobia and all that, me and my husband were like this, baby. We would lockstep together. My husband would be helping me make protest signs. I was in college then. It was my husband supported me by just being there and listening to my rants and my rages. And I would rant and rave about God knows anything, just like I do today, but I hold it in more. But my husband, I was fortunate enough, which I wish for all people, to have at least one partner in your life that is really truly down for you, that really truly loves and takes care of you. And I fortunate enough to have that. And for Kimberly and these people on 90 Day Fiancé, I see their desperation, and it breaks my heart a little bit. And I see that some of them are in it just for the visa, but some of these people desperately want to be loved or desperately trying to get out of this situation. My heart breaks for that too. If you're in a country and you looking around you, there's war everywhere, there's no opportunity, you'll do anything to get out of that situation, especially if you have children already. You'll get anything. You want a better life for yourself, and I get that. But lying and grifting to somebody is not it. And then these poor women and men who are online trying to find somebody, I want for them to find somebody that loves them. And like you were saying, yeah, that you never had a man truly love you. It is a hard thing these days. Men these days, and people period, are on some bullshit these days. Like, people are treating dating apps like social media now. They're not serious in meeting nobody. They just want somebody to talk to. They just want somebody to fill the void. They don't even want to meet nobody. I told people, I said, my friends who are online, they have a hard time getting somebody to even meet them in person. There are people online lying about what they look like, lying about what they do, lying about they careers, lying about their criminal history, lying about I didn't know people that met people that are drug addicts, that are whole crackhead and meth heads out there that are meeting people online and lying about what they do. So the idea that oh hey Misha J, what's up? So the idea that you know you're 26. Oh, baby, you young. You're like young enough to be my daughter. You're young enough to be, my kids are real young though. But, sometimes I tell people to just focus on them and focus on their career and just stack your money. Money is great. I don't understand that people need, people to cuddle up to at night and you need to yammy. But You can get an automatic Yammy. Like I said, get a battery powered Yammy. That's all you need. But I understand that people want somebody to be with, and that sense of desperation, especially the older you get, the more desperate you get and frantic. You're like, am I going to meet somebody? And I'm going to meet somebody. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. I just, I don't know. The only thing I can tell people, I don't have the answers to that because it is rough. Like I said, I have two friends who, my sister-in-law is a beautiful, attractive woman. She looks like Barbie. She's skinny, blonde. She's smart. She's funny. She's woke. All of that. She has a good job. She's independent. All of that. And has a hard time finding someone that's good for her. And then I have another friend that's black, that's has kids that are adult, attractive, has her own house, takes care of her mother, has a good job, kind person, funny, sweet, all of that. And she is having a hard time as well. So it goes across all races and all ages. So, it's rough out there. So these women and these men, I don't fault them for looking to international waters. Now, I couldn't do it. Your girl, I couldn't date internationally because I have trust issues and I can't trust no dude here. I couldn't trust if I had a man living across the street. Hey, GSP. I couldn't, hey, Misha GSP. Everybody here, make sure you smash that like button. I couldn't trust a man living down the street, much less a man living in another damn country, okay? Like, I couldn't do it, Like, I couldn't do it. Hey, I can't do it. I know we finna head over to Geo Malik. If you don't know, we heading to Geo Malik in about 15 minutes, so I'm finna wrap this up. I'm be on there talking about this hot ass mess of 90-day fiance hot mess on his channel. I think his live starts in 15 minutes. And yeah, kindling, baby, it's happening everywhere. It's all over the world. It's people are struggling all over the world. I mean, and to me, I would say for me personally, I feel like the more independent, the more high socioeconomic you are, the harder it is to find somebody, which sounds stupid, but for a woman it is. The more educated, the more independent that men know that you are for some reason, that's a turnoff to them because, like I have a man now and I understand that dating me, first of all, my personality is just, I'm a lot. I'm funny and I'm sweet and I'm educated, but I understand that it takes a special man to be with me because you really have to be assured of yourself because I do a lot. I do a lot of things. Okay, you'll be at G. Yeah, I'll be at Geo's in 15 minutes. I do a lot of things. I'm an election judge. I'm an artist. It's not like my life is that busy. I work from home mostly. I work from home and I'm an accountant by trade. That's what I do in my 9 to 5. Um, yeah, it makes men uncomfortable. Why? Why, GSP? Why? I have my own house. I have my own house. I have 2 cars. I live in a nice neighborhood. Y'all. I live in a nice neighborhood. I make good money. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm educated or whatever. Y'all want to see my backyard? Let me see. Let me get out and tell y'all about my backyard. My backyard is real little, y'all. It's my backyard. Well, I just had it done. Look at my backyard. See my backyard. See my backyard. I have a little backyard, y'all. But yeah, so in my house. Say hi, house. But it just seems like the more that you have, the less people want to be with you. It's just like men feel like if they can't keep up with you, then they don't want to be with you, which is sad because I'm a good woman. Like I don't lie, I don't cheat. I mean, like the yammy is real good. Like I'm a very free spirit. I'm very open. Like, I'm a good person, but it's just like, men are intimidated by me all the time. Men don't ever approach me. They don't ever go up to me. Men are intimidated by me. And I've learned to just deal with it. But I have a man right now and we've been together for a long time, long time. But I will never live with another man. I have 2 children. And so I tell everybody, no stepdaddies. I don't do stepdaddies. My kids know who they fathers are. So I got a dead husband and I have a baby daddy. My baby daddy, we have a good, amicable, friendly relationship. And that's it. Like that's I don't want to live with another man. I don't think I'll ever get married again. I'm not saying I wouldn't want to, but I just don't feel like that will happen for me anytime soon, especially in our situation with me and my man. So I just tell people it's hard out here. So don't get too frustrated with these women talking about they could meet somebody here. Why can't you meet somebody here? It's hard to meet somebody here. It's hard. You know, it's hard. And especially being an older woman, it's hard. It's hard. And you got to find a man that's and especially if you're successful, you got to find a man that's comfortable with your success and not trying to belittle you. In my past, when I've dated dudes and it just seems like the more stuff I did, the worse they would treat me. And I ain't down for that. I ain't down for nobody treating me like nothing because I don't need a man for shit. You hear me? Everything is in my name in my house. Everything is in my name. I make my own money. I make good money. So the idea that some men want to feel like it's subconscious. It's not something they do on purpose, but they feel the need to bring you down a peg. Well, I've had dudes say to me, well, you not all that. Well, I don't have an ego at all. I'm the most humblest person ever. I'm a girl from the hood, honey. I'm a girl from the hood. I come straight from the hood. It's a miracle that I am even here. That miracle, I used to be in a gang. I got tattoos. I educated myself. I put myself through college. Everything I have is self-made. But there are people out there who are intimidated by that, and they will try to belittle you and make you feel less than and try to diminish you and try to be like, oh, you're not doing all that. Baby, I'm doing all that. What you do, I'm an election judge. Best believe in these streets. Yes, election judge. I'm a former protester. I'm an artist. I've been in the Wall Street Journal. I've been on cover of magazines. I'll show y'all on GSP's live. I'll show y'all my magazine covers. The moment men hear that, they don't want to fuck with you. And they like, oh, okay. Well, you must be really busy. No, I have free time. I work from home. I don't go into an office. What do you do? Well, I kind of, well, yeah, okay. Then they gone. They have no interest in that because they're like, well, I can't keep up with this person and I'm not at this person level. And I'm the most humblest. I've dated blue collar guys all my life. Guys who work construction. My man works construction. I'm not, everybody who knows me, like, I am not egotistical. I'm not, oh, I got all this money. I'm not flashy. I'll throw on a wig in a minute. I got from Amazon. I don't own fancy purses and fancy clothes. I don't drive fancy cars. Damn it, I got a Nissan and a Kia. Like, but I stack my money in other ways. Me and my kids, we go on vacation a lot. We go different places a lot. You'll see our videos where we go places. We'll just up and go. This weekend, we're like, let's go jet skiing. Let's just go here. That's where I put my money towards my children. But I found that like finding the love of my life has been hard and not really possible for me in that way since my late husband passed away. That the love of my life is my children. That my children were the love of life I've been waiting for. Like at all my years, I was like, I want this romance. I want this fairy tale. And I had a good romance and I had a good marriage. But to me, the love of my life is my children. Traveling experience is yes. I would tell anybody to get out this damn country and go see other places. And if you got children, take your children with you. My kids, they know we have places to go. If the shit hit the fan this fall with this election, I'm like, kids, you see our passports. My kids know that we will leave anytime. I work remotely. We can leave. I told kids all the time, we can leave. If they want to go, we can go. They don't feel safe here, we can go. Like we can pack up, get rid of the house, get rid of sell the car, everything, and be gone. Be gone in about 6 months. So, I tell people America isn't sometimes the answer, but that's another thing. That's another time for another video. Because, child, I'm all about, they did a whole Washington Post article about black people leaving America to flee racism and going other places. It doesn't have to be Africa. It doesn't have to be the Caribbean. I tell black people all the time, we are worldwide, baby. If you can't find a man here, there's men over there for you. Whether you want a white man, whether you want an Asian man, whether you want a black man. It doesn't matter. There are men out there who love black women. I've dated all kinds of men. I've dated Arabs. I've dated Muslims. I've dated all kinds of men. White, black, white, yellow. I've dated everything. I've dated all kinds of men. My kids, my late husband's white. My baby daddy is Hispanic. My man right now is white. I've dated all kinds of men, but they have to be my kind of man. They can't be like scared of black people and be like Angela. Babe, next. I couldn't date no white man that act like that. We would be fighting. I can't. They have to understand culturally culture, to put it mildly, because like I said before in the beginning of the video, I'm an all black woman. You can't have a conversation with me what about Are we finna fight systematic oppression? Is this about white supremacy? like, like people here that I have white friends who are like, yeah, girl, yeah, right on. Like those are kind of circles I run in. So it's like, you can't be part of my circle if you're not that kind of person, because you're going to get highly offended by the things that I say. I dated one dude in the military. He was highly offended by the stuff that I said. I come from a military family. That's another story. Kiki has a lot of stories. I've lived a lot of life, but the military thing, I have a military family. Yes, we have to have the same politics. I would never date anybody who is conservative, who don't have my politics. Because I dated one guy who was conservative, and the moment that motherfucker was talking about Trump and talking about the F word about gay people, I was like, I'm getting my shit. Where you going? Out of here. Out of here. No. You're not gonna sit up here and demean Mexicans. My daughter's part Mexican. You're not gonna demean gay people. I don't know any gay people, but I'm gay friendly. I guess I'll be an ally. I'm trans friendly. I'm gay friendly. You can't be scared of gay people. You can't be scared of black people around me. That doesn't work with me. I could never date someone conservative. I don't know how people do it. There's no way. There's no way. When the Supreme Court thing came down, look, my mom was in the house like, oh God, the Supreme Court just outruled abortion. My whole house knew about it. My kids are 12 and 8, and they knew about it. They like, mama's upset. Yes, and then I have to have a partner that I can tell these things to. My late husband, oh my God, we would watch CNN all day and just be angry. We'd be like, look at this. And then my late husband be like, white people shit. Like my husband be all day. My husband was white, but he knew it. Like, he would go around people who didn't know who he had a black wife, and my husband would check people all the time. They would say shit. I'm in Texas. They would say shit about black people all the time, not knowing that my husband had a black wife. Do y'all understand? And my husband would check them fools. He would check his own family before he wouldn't even bring his son around them, because he was like, if you're not gonna respect my wife, I sure in the hell ain't bringing my son around you motherfuckers. If you're not gonna respect my wife, I'm not coming around you. Thanksgiving was with my family, because my husband's like, I'm not dealing with this shit. My husband grew up in a black neighborhood in South Dallas, and they went to all black schools. He graduated from an all black school, him and his sister. So the idea of racism, my husband would be ready to check somebody in a minute before I would. Like, we went I remember when we went to Cracker Barrel. Yeah, don't make jokes. But we went to a Cracker Barrel, and this waitress was rude to me, and my husband was like, are you being rude to my wife because she black? Like, my husband would go at him. We went to Best Buy, and I went to return something one time. And my husband had already called. He has returned stuff at Best Buy before. I went up there. They gave me some bullshit. No, you can't return. I can't. I told that man, I said, bet that. I said, I'll just send my husband in. I came back to the car. He like, why you still got the stuff in your hand? I said, they said they wouldn't let you. He's like, oh, I called. I said, I know you did. Well, they said I could return it. He's like, I've returned something like this before. Child, my husband snatched that shit out of my hand, and he just took off. And I went right in behind him, and I stood there because I'm more low key. My husband went in there. My husband was like, this is my wife. I called. Y'all didn't let me return. I returned something like this before. Are you not letting her return it because she's black? I said, oh, here we go. So I told the Best Buy guy, I said, I'm going to send my husband in here. Trust me, you don't want to deal with him. They like, no, that's our policy. I said, well, he already called. I warned them. My husband walked right up there and slammed that shit on the table and said, I called. Da-da-da-da. I said, oh my God. I was like, Lord. And I just sit there. But that was my husband, though. My husband we would go places, and he'd be like, what the fuck you looking at? What you looking at? You got a problem? I was like, oh, Lord. I'll be like, honey, calm down. Like, I had to calm him down. Like, I'm the calm one. My husband was full of vim and vigor. I tell my son that all the time. My husband was a real one. He was not the one. He would call anybody racist. He'd be like, racist. I'd be like, John, they're racist. They fucking racist. I know white people, Keisha. He would tell me that all the time. Babe, you just get people. I was more nicer back then. Now I'm a little bit more confrontational. But my husband was a real one. Like, he was always one to confront somebody on some racist or homophobic shit. Well, they don't like them because they gay, babe. I'm like, okay, honey. Okay, you go fight that crusade, And he would go up there. He was unashamed to look at people and be like, what are you looking at? I wish to God I thank God my husband's not alive now. My husband is rolling in his grave. He would see what's going on in America and he would be shocked. We sat at home holding hands when Barack Obama became president and cried because we were so excited. Because we're like, there's a chance that our son will become president. He was a huge supporter of Barack and Michelle. He loved Michelle Obama. He thought she was the most gorgeous, intelligent woman besides me. I was jealous. I was like, okay, honey, what is with you and Michelle Obama? Like, you need to stop it. Stop it. But he loved Barack Obama. He was such a big, huge Barack Obama fan, and he was hopeful for our future. And we were hopeful together. And then now, all these years later, to see everything blow up in our faces, my husband would be rolling over in his grave. He would be very, very, very upset. Like, he would be ranting and raving all the time. So sometimes I think if he was here, he'd probably be arrested or some shit. When the George Floyd protests broke out, my husband would have been in. He would have been like, "Come on, baby, let's go." He would have been in them streets. He would have been in them streets. Like, he would have been so angry because he didn't like the police anyway. But he would have been so angry about what was happening. I mean, he was angry. We were angry a long time ago when things were going on, but it wasn't this bad though. So I don't know. I don't know how my husband. He wouldn't have reacted very well. I know he wouldn't have. He would have saw what was going on and would have been like, we have went backwards. Like, what is happening? He would have, my husband probably would have left Texas. He probably would have felt like our lives were in danger. Like, my husband was that kind of reactionary. Even though his family is here, he probably would have had contingency plans because he probably, I could see my husband feeling like our lives were in danger, and I, I just, my husband was a good person. He was truly a good man and a good person. So a good man and good person is hard to find. So I just hope for everybody out there listening to this, I hope you find your person. I really do. And don't take it for granted when you find somebody that on the surface they seem like not everything that you want, but they are. But anyway, Gio is going live, so I'm heading over to his channel, y'all. Thank everybody for coming in. Make sure you press the like button, subscribe, comment. I love you guys. Please, I love you, Kendallin, Marsha J, everybody that came in here. I really do listen to me drone on and on. I really appreciate y'all. I gotta get to work too, but I'm finna go listen to Gio. Yeah, and great tips. I'll try to do a whole video about dating tips if y'all want me to, because I have years and years of experience. I've been through. Girl, your girl's been through it. I've been engaged 7 times. But anyway, that's for another time for yes, 7 times, girl. Anyway, bye.